Hello everybody and welcome back to Teachers Talk Money, where I help teachers master their money in order to give back to themselves. Today I have a much anticipated video, at least it's much anticipated by me, and that is my August 2021 net worth update. Now, the reason I have been very curiously waiting to see what these numbers would pan out to be is because, of course, just like in July, I'm living off of my savings and therefore expecting my net worth to decrease. While this is an expectation for me, it's not something that I am really mentally or emotionally used to, because during the school year when I'm actively bringing in income from my teaching position, my net worth consistently increases. So it is always very much an exercise in balance and patience and long-term planning and long-term goal setting for me to look at these numbers decreasing while still, not losing heart over it. So that being said, how much did my net worth decrease this month? Let's take a look at the numbers and look at each and every individual account and see how everything panned out. So we're going to start with my investment accounts, and this was really interesting to look at because obviously I'm not contributing to my investment accounts over the summer. The reason being my 457, which is where I invest money right out of my paycheck. It's my employer-sponsored retirement plan. I'm not contributing anything to that because I'm not working or getting those paychecks. And for my Roth IRA, that has been fully funded since I think May or June of this year, and so I cannot physically invest more in that. Plus, I don't know that I would be anyway because, of course, I'm living off of my savings, and so I don't know if it'd be wise to invest that money. And because I'm not contributing to any of these investment accounts, all of the growth that you're going to see today is simply the interest that has accrued this month since I last captured my net worth in July. So let's take a look. First, we have my Roth IRA. And like I said, I've already fully funded this. That means I've already contributed $6,000 for 2021 into this account. The total value of this account, as of the day I'm recording this, is $17,577. That is $541 more than when I captured my net worth last month. And like I said, none of that was my contributions. That was all interest, or in other words, passive growth. And so without touching that account at all, the money that was in there earned $541 on top of itself. Talk a little bit more about passive income at the end, but first let's take a look at how much my 457 grew. So the total value of my 457 is $12,626, which is $304 more than when I captured my net worth last month. And as I just explained with my Roth IRA, I did not contribute a single penny to this month. And so that $304 is just interest on top of what has already been contributed. So that's pretty exciting that both of those grew by a couple $100s. Now let's talk about my pension. So I sort of tentatively include this under investments. I do have a little bit of an update about this pension today. What I do with my pension is I simply track the contributions and not any of the interest that it accrues. And the reason I do this is because if I had to leave my district today or retire from teaching or retire altogether for whatever reason or change careers, I would only be able to withdraw the contributions I have made. That's all, the only money I have to my name as of now. That being said, this pension is still growing interest. I looked into the finer details of my pension over the summer when I had a little bit more time to take note of those things. And one important detail that I confirmed when looking into this was that my pension vests after 10 years of being in my district, which means in the case of my pension, I will be able to take out the contributions and the interest at that 10-year mark. So for now, until I hit that 10-year mark, I am just going to track the contributions. However, when I do hit that 10-year mark, I will start including the interest it has earned as well in my net worth updates. So that should be a pretty exciting net worth update, because it will probably, my net worth will probably increase by a lot when I am able to track the interest that my pension has earned. Now for today's net worth update, it did not grow by anything because I did not contribute anything. So it's still $10,822. Then we have my supplemental pension. So this, if you guys remember, just updates once a year. I also it's very, very minuscule amount of money that invests every month. And so finally it has updated for this year, and the total value of it is $798 for a total change of $284. That is what I had contributed from my paychecks throughout all of last year. That's what's reflected here. So this is probably going to stay, or definitely going to remain, at $798 until it updates again next summer. So glad I'm able to like physically see that change in my online account now, because I was a little concerned when I didn't have this back in July. Then we have my emergency fund. Fortunately, as I'm grateful for or have been grateful for every single month up until now, I haven't had to tap into my emergency fund at all, which is just a huge blessing. This is $5,037 now. It's grown $2 in interest since last month, so nothing too crazy, but you're not supposed to see crazy growth with your emergency fund. The point of an emergency fund is that it stays there until you absolutely have to use it. And so grateful to still have all of that sitting there for me. Then we have my other savings, which once again has taken the biggest hit this month. Most of this is from having to withdraw money from my summer savings account in order to live off of this year. So that has either been spent on things, or it's sitting in my checking account waiting to still be spent for the month of August. I also went on a couple of trips this month, so that money came out of my travel fund and things like that. I'm not sure exactly if that accounts for all of the money here. I think I probably also spent money out of other funds as well that I'm just not really thinking of. And so that is the reason for the steep decrease. My other savings are all valued at $1,534 for a total change of negative $3,736. So let's take a look at all of these totaled up together. When you count everything, my total net worth for August 2021 is $48,394. This means that this month my net worth changed by negative $2,614 for a total year-to-date change of $12,229. So once again, we do have a negative number and a decrease in my net worth, despite the fact that my investments earned quite a bit of money this summer. But that is, as I said, to be expected. It is all part of my longer term plan. It is nice to see that it did not decrease by nearly as much as it did last month, of course, because last month I moved and I purchased a new car, and so all of the costs associated with that meant my net worth decreased by about $6,000. So this is a much easier number to look at. But like I said, all of these purchases, the move, the car, the money that I'm spending to live this summer out of my savings, is all part of my bigger financial plan, and I had all that money there to be spent on these things. So I really don't feel ultimately that discouraged by this decrease, especially this month, because this is an amount that I really was sort of anticipating. But let's take a look at some context to help explain that to you guys. So the first thing is I want to show you my year-by-year net worth. Now, I don't have a totally accurate number for August 2019 because I actually started consistently tracking my net worth in September 2019. That being said, based on the pattern of growth month to month in that year, I can approximate that my net worth was probably about $10,000 in August 2019. In August 2020, it was over $29,000, and now we're in August 2021, and it's over $48,000. And so Is my net worth decreasing over the summer months? Yes, it did so last year and it has done so once again this year. However, we're still seeing really, really consistent growth over time. And I will show you guys my graph for this as well, but first let's take a look at the passive income for this month and for the year to date. So this month, between both of my investment accounts, my Roth IRA and my 457B, it grew $845 completely passively. Like I said, none of that was something I contributed. And so for the year to date, from January to August, I have passively grown $3,406 just in interests on my investments. This is a really awesome thing to see because this interest is going to keep growing its own interest. So essentially, it is as if I have invested $3,406 more than I actually have. And that's really the beauty of compound interest, is that now it's as if I have invested this giant lump sum of money, but I didn't have to at all. It was completely passive. It was based on the fact that I have been investing consistently for a number of years now. So despite the fact that this month my net worth went down by over $2,000, for the year so far, I have already earned more than that in my interest. So I would like to get to a point where I'm seeing myself totally break even for both summer months, because I think it would just be kind of an encouraging thing to see, okay, I am literally covering the cost of living over the summer simply by having stayed invested and been consistently investing for so long. It's an arbitrary point for sure. That being said, I think that would just be like an encouraging milestone for me. And I'm definitely on track. We might be able to see me break even next year on these things. So stay tuned for next summer, because I'm definitely interested to see if I'll hit that milestone. So let's take a look at my net worth graph of all time to give some more context for this dip in net worth. As you can see on this graph from last year, my net worth did decrease a little bit in July and a lot in August 2020. And then this year it was a very steep decrease in July, like I said, from all the changes and purchases that I made over the summer that were planned but did come out of my savings. And a slightly less steep decrease, of course, for this month of August. So something that I am looking at here in terms of patterns is how long did it take me to recover the net worth I had lost in the summer 2020. And as you can see on this graph, it took me until about November to get back to the point I was at before summer started. Now this year, I spent a lot more money out of my savings than the previous summer. So we're looking at, honestly, December or January before I get back to the point I was at before summer started. Now that is quite a few months to make up for those decreases, right? That being said, I think the ultimate question is this decrease in net worth me being able to take the summer off? And honestly, both times, the answer has been emphatically yes, because having summer off has granted me so much flexibility to take care of things I need to take care of, to travel, to feed into my passions, to work on Teachers Talk Money stuff. So despite the fact that it's been more of a stretch these years than it will probably ever be, because I'm making, most likely, if I stay in this teaching position, the least money I will ever be making, it has still been so worth it to take that time off. And what is money for if not for affording ourselves these kind of freedoms, right? And being able to buy back some of our time. And so I feel really at peace this summer, despite, especially last month, everything decreasing by a lot, with my decision to take off. That could change in future summers, but I really just don't foresee it happening unless I can really do some part-time work or something that's very flexible. So stay tuned for my September net worth update. I don't know that my net worth's going to start shooting back up really quickly or anything because I'm not going to be getting a full paycheck for, I think, the first paycheck I get in September. And I also just don't know what my paychecks are gonna look like yet because my income's different, but so are my 457 deductions and things of that nature. So it will be interesting to see how long it takes to recover this net worth. That being said, I'm really not sweating it. I'm really just grateful that I've been able to get myself to the position where I can take these 2 months off of work. I hope you guys enjoyed this net worth update. Please leave a comment down below if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!